Can we turn this into this?
Alright guys, so you know yesterday our video was not very long. It didn't show a whole lot. We ran into a lot of problems. We had no water at the end of the day. This faucet doesn't work. We pulled out another faucet. It didn't work. We're trying to use a bunch of old parts. This is an old cabinet thing that my uncle pulled out of a house. He's a contractor. These sinks, we pulled it out of another thing. It didn't work. So we spent a lot of time yesterday trying to get the sink to work. It was leaking. The toilet was leaking. It takes a long time to put this metal up and cut it and all that. It just kicked our butts yesterday, and so we didn't get as much done as like a huge project, I guess. But we had no water last night, so what we did is we went to town. We had to buy a new faucet. We had to buy some new parts under there. So that's what we're gonna do today, is go ahead and knock this out so we can have some water again. Alright guys, so yesterday's big problem was, as you could tell, this sink is not where it needs to be. So the pipe's here, the drain pipe is over here, so we had to come up with a way to get it that way. And what I did is I bought this, and I'm hoping I can stick it here, kind of maneuver it over that way and hook it on. So we gotta deal with that. And then another problem is, again, this was not set up the way it needed to be because we're just using recycled stuff here. And the sink, it didn't work. So the way it's plumbed out here is if the house doesn't have water, the trailer doesn't have water, which means we had no water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook these on, these cutoff valves, in here so we can turn it on and off here and keep it off, because as of right now we have no hot water, so we got to keep this off through here so it doesn't leak or anything if it accidentally got turned on. And then as you can tell right here, we had to use a T to plug it and hook it up because we didn't have the right parts. So I'm going to cut that out and then put this in here so we can go ahead and turn it off there. But we had to do that to raise the pipe up so this could reach. So it's basically rig it up with what we have here because we have no budget. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut these pipes out, add these in, and then try to hook this here. It's very hard to get in. So if I was in here working and I'm like this, you can't see anything. So that's why we don't film a whole lot in the bathroom. There have been some comments saying, why are you not working? It's just too hard, especially with a grown man, not me, my dad, in here, and then me. There's no room to film. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out and show you what I just told you. It's be a lot easier with freaking PVC cutters and not. Alright, so now I'm gonna cut this off. And I think that should leave us enough room.
Put your leg or your finger.
Cut my life in 2 pieces. This is my last resort. Sorry, shut up. Don't breathe in. This is the stuff y'all want to see. Cut. I'm tired. This is why we don't show most of the stuff I do, because my mom wouldn't be able to watch. She'd be like, he's about to cut his leg off.
So that's how I feel. You're giving me anxiety. Do you see this?
Well, here's the issue here, guys. There's one hole in this thing. And my dad said, make sure to get a faucet that has just one handle, you know, so we can make sure it'll fit. Well,
we did that.
But now it doesn't.
It still has the 2 holes.
Yeah, it don't work the way it's supposed to.
Which is
This is my life. So I was planning on hooking this up and having water in here, but now we're not because there's only one hole up here. I don't know if it's still on there, but it's like this. So this one, as you can tell, there's one hole and there's one hole up there, so it fits through. So I bought one with this, but yet it split off because that's how things work in my life.
I wonder if you can take that bottom part, black piece off. And
Well,
push them together.
I understand that, and that's my first thought, but here's my second thought. On this,
Jason's always having second thoughts.
yeah, on this it has this bolt coming through that helps you clamp it to here. On here,
It has the two.
it has
Dang.
two, so you have to drill 2 holes to make it stay. So, without me losing my mind, because this is what I dealt with all day yesterday, I'm going to neatly put it back in the box.
Return it?
No, not yet. And put this back in the box. I'm going to cut this, or I'm going to
Go ahead and just
go ahead and hook this on.
So we could turn the water back on.
Close it off, turn the water back on, and let my dad deal with this, because this bathroom is my dad's project, and this is something my dad's been wanting to do, so I'm gonna let him. And since everyone thinks my dad does all the work in the bathroom anyways, I'm gonna let him totally take credit for it. Dad, this is all you.
This looks like the Blair Witch Project.
It's what I feel like right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook these on, turn them off, and then whenever my dad comes out, we'll figure out. We may try to drill holes through here. I don't know. I don't want to be the one, honestly, putting holes in this, because this was not mine. I didn't buy this, and it was my uncle's, which is my dad's brother. So I'd rather them fight it out if something goes wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook these on, turn the water off in here, close, so we can turn the water on to everything else. That way, if I need to poo-poo in the toilet in the other room or the other trailer, I can go poo-poo. So I ate 2 burritos and mini tacos from Circle K, that's known as Stripes now. So it's coming, people. Zoomed in on the eyebrows.
This is the Blair Witch Project vlog shots that everyone really wanted. They were saying Jason wasn't doing enough work, so we decided to show you the fascinating work that you were all dying to see. Yay, he got it.
Yeah. I had to break it off because I ain't got time for that. Now I got to cut it here and then glue the thing on there. Alright, so got it on there. Of course, we're not going to use this sink up here, or the faucet. Bless you. So what I'm going to do is I just have them closed right now. That way I can go turn the water on, and we can have water throughout the rest of the house, and it won't be coming through here. And then when we're done working on the sink, you just flip them over and it's good to go. So if anything ever were to happen in the future and the sink's messed up, just come in, flip it off, and you have a kill switch right there. It's the same thing like you have on the toilet and stuff like that. So yep,
Bada bing, bada boom.
bada bing, bada boom. Let's go mess with the big room. Alright, so with this wall, as you guys saw, it's just as plain paneling. Everyone knows that if you had that paneling in your house as a kid, you got whooped. And so we're going to try to bring that into the modern day and age of no whipping. And to do that, we're thinking maybe we had this extra... You're not liking my whipping?
I thought it was funny.
Some people probably don't. But this...
It's because those people don't whip their kids.
Probably not. So this brick panel, it was extra. My dad bought a couple for the kitchen. We over-calculated. So instead of taking it back and getting our money back, let's use it. So we're going to do a fake fireplace slash feature wall. and try to break the wall up, do this a different color, kind of like the kitchen, and then we will mess with these walls later. So what we got to figure out is, do we want it in the middle or do we want it more to the side? The main issue is there is the AC vent back there. So do we want that? What are you, Vanna White? Vanna White over here? And
I'm practicing for my audition for The Price is Right.
so we're gonna go ahead and figure out where we want it and get going. All right, so we took the vent thing off. We went ahead and cut a hole in the panel. Now we're gonna stick it up there. Lost a little bit of the brick. All right.
But that's okay because we will be spackling that and painting it.
Yes. All right, so now we're going to trim up this brick. We got it up, and we're gonna use these. It was pretty much a 2x6 ripped in half. And luckily there's a stud on this side. I'm not sure about this side, but we'll go ahead and screw them in.
So now we're just going in and we're adding a little bit of texture. We're taking the spackle and kind of making little lumps and bumps here and there so that when we paint it, it's not so flat and it doesn't look cheap and fake.
So what we're thinking, as Jaylena's doing that, we're trying to get ideas. I kind of wish I would have gone a little bigger, 2x6 on each side. It would have made it a little more bold and poppy. But the wall isn't very big, so I'm not trying to make it just over the top. You know, that's all you're looking at. So what we're thinking is this is Jaylena's idea. Let's stain these and then paint the inside. That way it kind of breaks it up, but it gives it a good rustic look. I'm leaving that. You see how, see? She's just as mean as I am, guys, so don't let her fool you whenever I say comments about her. But I think it'll look pretty good with stained, and if we don't like it, we'll just paint over it. So Jaylena's gonna spackle this up. I guess I can start staining, and let's see what it looks like. So while Jaylena's doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and stain these little pieces of wood. You can do it with the brush, you can do all that. I like to just rub it on. It's easier for me to get in there. And I just use like an old cloth, sometimes an old sock. Comes in handy because you get to put the whole sock on your hand, do it. But this time I tore off a piece of Jaylena's underwear and I'm gonna use that. Oh, you can't even see this.
Maybe it's because you didn't check it out.
So, too light, I'm gonna add some darker to it. Alright, I had to go get some more stain, some darker stain. So I got some from the lawnmower, the old lawnmower. It's
what?
Oil. And I know a lot of you thinking, what in the world? But Chip over at SunnySlope Homestead taught me this trick, and he pretty much said, if you ain't got it, you can get it. And so I'm going to add some of the old color that I had, the light stuff, to this, kind of give me just enough to finish this, and I think it'll be just fine. Alright, so let's test out this motor oil stain. It's still a little light, so we'll see here. We may just need to do a couple of coats, and if so, it should be okay. So since this trick did work, guys, feel free to go over to SunnySlope Homestead. We'll leave a link down in the description. Chip on there is a hoot. You think Dale's crazy? Chip's crazy. He taught Dale how to catch a raccoon and gave him a recipe. So Dale will be coming over on our channel pretty soon and doing a catch, clean, and cook for a raccoon. And that's no joke. It's going to happen. So feel free to go subscribe to SunnySlope Homestead. Super awesome guy. And let him know that the raccoon catch, clean, and cook is coming. So Jaylena is almost finished with this. If you guys are interested, she is doing a full how-to for this project on her channel. So you want to go over and check out the how-to on that, get the behind the scenes of how we did more of this, more in detail and stuff like that. You'll definitely have to go check out her page. It's just Jaylena Crocker, Jaylena, and that is down in the description. So make sure to go subscribe to that.
Oh man.
Did you drop that in the paint?
No. I'm going to find it.
Just don't worry about it.
Jason says not to worry, so I do not worry.
So as you can tell, we primed all of this all the way across to the other side. It's getting there. It already looks a little different, a little more modern, I guess, maybe. Actually, it looks like complete crud because it's one coat. But we got this going. As you can tell, again, Jaylena's got her camera over here. She's doing behind the scenes. So again, check out her video on the behind the scenes of all this stuff and more of the how-to on doing the faux brick if that's what you're into. While all this dries up real good, we're going to go ahead and work on this back wall. As you guys know, we did the stained OSB on that side, and I don't remember if I've talked about this already. If I have, oh well. Jaylena did a full video on it on her channel, and so you can go check that out. But we are going to do cedar wood on this side. We're not going to stain it. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to do cedar. So let's get busy. Like we did the other wall, we're going to go and spray. So whenever we do the boards and they shrink and all, they'll have black behind it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and work our way down. So it's going to be a bunch of small pieces, and we'll show you once we get down to the bottom of the window. Got a lot of this done. We got this whole side, here, here, and here. So now we're going to go ahead and put another layer on the bottom. I need to figure out how many boards we have, because I may not go all the way down, so I can start trimming this out because I don't want to run out of boards. So we're going to go ahead and put at least one more layer so we can start trimming out the windows. We're going to start framing this out. As you can tell, there's a big gap. So we stuck some spacers up here, and then I cut this board to fit. And so basically I'm trying to fill in this gap all the way on top. And hopefully it'll fit in there good, which it's not because
We didn't account for that board.
well, it's just a little off. Okay, guys, so the microphone quit working for some reason, so I'm going to voice over the end of this. So I started putting the trim up. It was a pain in the butt. This, nothing worked right. The battery died, so we started painting again. We tried to paint the brick to match the kitchen, and then we came in with primer, and we are priming all the paneling at the moment. And we did rollers at first, then we did brushes just to get in all the cracks, but that's all painted. Then I had to put some spacers under here to even it out because this was not built to be finished out for sure. So I had to go back in and add a bunch of support and stuff. It was going to be hidden anyways. And then came in, just measured some trim boards, kind of got it in there, and nothing was even, nothing was square. So it took forever, but this is me showing what it looks like compared to what it used to look like. So over there, it was pretty rough. I mean, it was just rigged up big time. And over here, we have it cleaned up and looking nice. My uncle has done a lot of work on this cabin, but he doesn't have a lot of free time, but he's got resources of windows and stuff. So he did what he could with the time he had. But with us being out here for now, we're able to come in and really trim this off and finish out what he started and make it look nice and, you know, hopefully make the whole family proud and show everyone what the dream of this cabin really was. So just kept trimming this up, and it went all right. It went smoother than expected, but it was kind of a pain in the butt. But that looks so much better. The one trimmed up compared to those is just a huge difference. And remember, it used to be OSB plywood behind the cedar, so a huge facelift. And then here's me putting the last board. We were missing 2 cedar boards on the bottom, so we're missing some down there in the bottom, but it's okay. But that's what it looks like, all trimmed up. Of course, we still need to trim around the outside and the ceiling and stuff, but we won't do that until we do the floor and ceiling and stuff. But that looks pretty good from where it started. It's starting to actually look like a hunting cabin out here, but it's nice seeing it all trimmed up and nice, and this will help keep bugs and, you know, mice and stuff out of here. So I am very pleased with how it turned out. So I am happy with that. And then this is the very end. We're kind of showing the faux brick wall that we did, the paneling, the cedar, and all that, kind of just as a whole, showing it again. We're going to replace those wood strips. We're going to do 2x6, and we're going to go ahead and stain them darker. I didn't like them being skinny, so that's what we're going to do with that. So guys, as always, thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Hit the notification bell. I'm sorry that our microphone broke. We're just going to have to figure it out tomorrow. But as of right now, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, thanks to WeBoost for sponsoring us with the cell phone signal booster. So if you're interested in one, it's down in the description. So we will see you guys tomorrow.